Unmute.
So hello, welcome to another Hangout session for the RobotX. Looks like we've got about four people, three people on. I don't see any viewers right now.
One just came in.
Oh, we just had one come up. So I'll go ahead and start just with anyone have any questions to start with?
Hi, Janish, representing QT here. Just wondering if there's any technical details regarding the website, such as domain names and the address, and does it have to be linked on directly to your website?
You mean for your team websites?
Yes.
So we don't have any specifications for what domain name you need to have or what you need to, how you need to link it. What we want to do is I'd like to put a link to your whatever site you have on the RobotX site.
Okay.
So in the rules, we have a little bit of a description of some information you'd like to have available from the teams. Kind of meet the teams, meet the team members, see how you decided to design goals, how do you build them. A lot of that's in the rules for the types of things we're looking for, and some of them overlap with what we're looking for the paper.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yep. You're welcome. I've been watching some of your videos. They're pretty interesting.
Thanks.
And those for those, we have one or two viewers pop in and out. Don't forget you can use the question and answers app to ask questions if you're just watching. You can also post the question directly on the community page or the event page, and we'll catch it there too.
Yeah, I've got a question.
Okay.
I'm a representative from Flinders and AMC. I don't know if you got an email. One of the other guys sent an email through to you guys about a question in regards to the e-stop. You posted some rules, and one of the rulings was that the e-stop has to be on a separate power system from the main host computer.
Right.
And our system has been designed to tunnel through the link between the telemetry link. It provides, basically our system provides all the same operational capabilities as yours, just with the rulings that our system doesn't use a separate power system. So we're just wondering if we could demonstrate that our system is going to provide all of those capabilities, whether that wording would be able to be changed so that that system is okay.
So the intent behind that specification in the rules was to have an independent kill switch that would not there would not be any impact for anything that went wrong with the control system. So I guess I'm curious, how would you be able to know that a change to your control system, the software crash or anything like that wouldn't affect the ability of that kill switch to work?
So I'm not the person designing it, but my understanding is that there's 4 hard kill switches on the boat. They're in an open relay system, which if any one of them opens, the motors get killed. And then there's also a heartbeat message coming through the wireless e-stop. If the heartbeat message fails to repeat every, I think it's 1 second at the moment, then the motors are killed, and if the button on the e-stop switch is pressed, then the motors are killed. So basically, in any situation where there's a failure in the control system, the e-stop system is separated from the control system, but it uses the same power supply.
So does that, I guess I want to make sure I understand, does that mean that while the vehicle is running during the competition course, you have a link directly to your control station?
No, it's using the same. It's on the same power supply, but it's a separate unit, is my understanding.
I guess I'm thinking of you have a telemetry link going from the vehicle to a top side during the competition as well.
I believe so.
And that's where the heartbeat comes in with the kill switch.
Yep.
To think about that one. The intent was that when your vehicle is connected to the test directors or the technical directors network, that's the only link you've got. We had not planned on having necessarily direct links, or I guess we'll have to talk about that. We hadn't really gone into too much detail on that, about a direct link to your control station in parallel as a way to reduce the chances of outside control of the vessel. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yep.
So,
so maybe we could draft up a more detailed document about exactly how it works and send that through to you guys, give you a clear understanding of that.
yeah, that would be useful to help us make a call on that one. As for the power supply issue, I understand you're saying it's coming. They're both power off the same system. I guess the question then happens if the main power is an issue, it automatically kills the motors, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's correct. If the main power fails, then the motors get automatically cut with their stopping system, which is Open Relay.
Okay, that sounds like that should be okay. I'd have to, if you can give me a little more details on that. I was looking at your email here.
Yep.
I think I'd like a little more detail on that before I make that call, though.
Sure,
So
I'll get a document drafted and send that through.
Yeah, because it looks like you've got both the command and control and the you've got a link both through the command and control system and through the independent power the power supply. So I'm not sure how that'll work out with what we put in. If I need to update that specification, I will too. So I'd like to see a little more detail on that.
Cool. Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Then the question to ask the teams is if they're trying to use the same telemetry link to activate the kill switch, if their main vehicle computer freezes, do they still have the ability to send that signal, or is the main vehicle computer freezing block that from happening? That was your concern with the telemetry link, right?
Right. That was the main concern. Is that? And I think it sounds like they've addressed that.
Okay.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. We've specifically addressed it so that if our main host system fails, in any state that it fails, if there is a blocking, it will be on the safety side, so the motors will get killed. And if there is no blocking, then it will be operation as normal through the e-stop.
Right. So that's something we'll have to look at and see if that I guess the biggest problem right now, the biggest question right now really is the power supply. It's all the same power supply, and we've intended to keep them separate to reduce any chances, so we have to look at that.
Okay.
Apparently not.
Nick, can we get you to mute your microphone if you're not going to ask a question? I don't know if you can hear us.
Nope, there we go.
We had Christopher Hockley just asking how they can get in the Hangout. Christopher, you have to be invited. I've sent you 2 invites now. You should have gotten them either in the Google Hangouts window or any Google window you have open. You should see a notification of an invite to a Hangout. There is no link I can give you. Another question, a follow-on from the power system. We were thinking about putting the batteries on the skis and not in the back where the propulsion system is attached. Would that be allowed? And to do that, is this allowed to use the screws on from the own boat to fix it, to secure it? Can you use the screws in the boat to secure it, not in the back with the thrusters?
So I actually was, I think you sent that via email as well. I was in the middle of working on a response to that when the Hangout started. Yeah, the vessel is yours. You can modify it as you need to, as long as you meet the safety requirements of both your country and the host country in general. So yeah, I think there's no, you're permitted to modify the craft. I think what you're looking to do is just have the batteries a little higher up, is what it looks like. So that should be fine.
Any other questions? We don't really have a set topic for this particular Hangout, so it's kind of open floor discussion if everyone's got any questions or wants to start talking about something.
Hi again. Just another question regarding the light buoys. Is there any more detail on the actual design of the light buoy, such as a frame?
So you're talking about the structure that it's mounted on?
Yes, the structure that's mounted on, because we know it's between 1 and 3 meters high. Just wondering if there's any more specific detail, such as the actual design and shape of it.
The shape of the actual light panels or the shape?
The actual framework that it's going to be sitting upon.
So that's intentional actually. So we're giving you kind of a range of heights and a range of we haven't specified it. We've got the design, the full prototype just about finished being built, and we're going to be testing that in Singapore shortly. But the intent is to not depend on the shape of the tower itself to focus on light panel itself. So there's intentionally a little bit of vagueness in there.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, that's how we're going to have a little bit of detail, but the picture that we had on the light buoy page, we might modify that with an updated drawing, but it won't be necessarily exactly how it's built.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Yeah, so that's part of the challenge actually. That's to be able to adapt to the and detect.
Right. Not every traffic light's always at the same height, so there's going to be some variability.
Thanks.
Have any of you tried to build the panels that Bill posted before the last or during the last session?
I think we are sort of in progress of building one.
Okay. If you run into any issues, let me know.
No worries.
Yeah, I think we're also sort of got in progress or on the cards to do pretty soon.
Okay. You had any trouble getting the panels or any of the components for it?
And not so far.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
I'm sorry, like I'm having some problems here. When he speaks with the microphone, when he just make the question and you answer and just keep the microphone on, I cannot like listen to you guys. There is like a kind of interference or noise. So I would just ask, like, could you ask him to please like turn off his microphone when you're answering the questions?
Okay. So it sounds like if when you're not asking a question, when you're not speaking, if you don't mind, just muting your microphone so that everyone can hear and we don't get a double signal.
Yeah, and I recommend if the more we do this, I don't know if you see it in our ears, but this actually works much better if you wear headphones to listen, because then you don't have the feedback between the speakers and the mic if you wear headphones.
Okay, thank you.
And I guess the other topic I was going to bring up real quickly is it sounds like people have discovered that we did post the kill switch specifications, and so that's on the site. I meant to put that in the email I sent out, but I forgot about that one actually.
I see 4 viewers watching the feed but not part of the Hangout. Please post any questions you might have, even if you're watching. Ah, we got Christopher finally.
And I think I'll go ahead and bring up another topic that came up a little while ago. I was speaking with one of the other coordinators in one of the other countries, and the topic of the shipping and getting all the gear moving to Singapore. We're making good progress. I think we've got a person just about identified to be the point of contact for all of the equipment that you want to ship over there. This is someone who's going to facilitate getting the equipment through customs, getting it moving. It's where you'll ship the vehicles and all the parts and everything you have. So as soon as that's ready, we'll get that posted. And I also asked about a week ago about the status of the lodging arrangements. We're waiting on the hotel that we've selected to get back and actually sign the contract. So everything's waiting on that right now. One of the things that's going to come up, actually, I should mention it now, we're going to be asking for each of the teams to submit all of their shipping, what they intend to do for shipping, how they intend to ship it, the cost estimates and everything, probably at the end of July is what I'm guessing, the latest. So go ahead and start working on getting that together, and we're gonna use that to try and make things a lot easier and reduce any impact of potential issues through customs or anything like that. So I just wanted to make sure I reiterate to the teams that it's worth thinking about right now.
Feel free to ask any questions.
Hi. Just
Okay.
out of curiosity, what's going to need to be like the communication distance between the e-stop system and the craft? I guess this will have to do with how far away the judges are from the field of play.
Right. So what we're going to be doing during our next site visit out to Singapore is we're going to be running the course with another craft and trying it out. Our intention, our goal, is to have the judge either on the shore, near the competitors' village, or along the shore where the dock is, that side of the land-based area. The third option would be to have the judge on a small boat with the one team representative, so to be closer to the craft. One for the course A, one for course B. So plan on needing range between, I guess, the competitors' village to the far end of the course, of the further course. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. But just out of curiosity, does that mean we're going to need to run high gain antennas for our TD network?
So the TD network will have directional antennas, high gain antennas, on the short side. So that should be fine. The TD or the kill switch will be. Hopefully, you won't need quite the same. The high gain antenna that we're using is mostly because we're running on the Wi-Fi bands, which are a little more crowded. I'm hoping that some of the kill switches are on alternate bands that are a little less cluttered.
I wanted to follow up with something he said about the TD network.
Mm-hmm.
I'd encourage teams to invest more in their antenna and radio on the vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
Like a USB dongle is not going to cut it. Don't expect to come with a USB dongle plugged into a computer and connect to the TD network. Do a little bit more investment in that to actually get a nice antenna or a nice radio. It's not going to cost you much. A good one's going to run you about $100.
Yeah,
but a USB dongle won't cut it.
That's something we've seen in a lot of the competitions in the past. Is the network environment, the wireless network environment, is going to be cluttered, not just from the point of view of the what's in the area, it's a marina, right, but also from the number of teams and all the people who'll be out there with hotspots.
Yeah. So we're trying our best on our end to have good equipment to handle that, and it'd make our lives easier if the teams did the same.
Yeah, the TD system we've been building up is designed specifically to deal with a lot of those concerns that we've encountered before.
Yeah, and I've been testing the parts that we've picked out at Singapore RF levels and to make sure that this is possible. It is possible.
Yep. Be something we take with us when we go there next time and do another further test.
Good.
On site.
Well, we need something to control the buoy when we're there. I see 3 people watching. Someone's going to have questions.
Do you have any specifications on the obstacle buoys yet?
The obstacle buoys, I thought we posted those. Are those? I thought I added those to the last version of the rules.
Oh, sorry, I mustn't have seen them.
Okay, if they're not, I think I added those to the last version of the rules. The ones that I think we're missing right now are a little more detail. We're going to have a little more detail on the light buoy once we get everything tested, and we're also going to post some information on the dock hopefully in the next revision of the rules shortly after the site visit. They're testing out what we've requested, trying to get those right now.
Okay, thank you.
About the obstacle buoys, you just according to the rules, it was just buoys like in blue, right? But we're having some problems here in Japan, like to actually purchase it because you have to import it. So the colors for the obstacles are just blue, right? Like we cannot just get like other colors for the obstacles. There won't be like other colors for the obstacle, right?
That's correct. What we're doing is we're getting the blue versions of those buoys, and they're in different sizes and for that part of the course.
But there won't be any other colors besides blue as used as obstacles.
Not for obstacles, no.
Right.
But like
green.
Sorry, there is just one model we can actually use for that. That is not from other like companies, right? Is there any other model that you can use that would be like similar to that? Do you have?
Do we know of any similar ones?
I'm not sure off the top of my head of any other. I mean, so we chose what we could easily purchase, or what they were able to easily purchase, the host facility. Rather than have ones that were different everywhere, we chose just the one model number. I believe they're fairly standard. I know the red and the green are fairly standard. I believe the blue is a fairly standard color as well. But yeah, I don't know of another model number off the top of my head.
Yeah, like here we're just having problems to find it, but like, well, we'll try to work on that then. Thank you. Well,
Okay.
thank you.
I'll take a look as well and see if I've seen anything that I might have missed, but I'll look for that.
Okay, thank you.
We had a question that I had to chuckle at. Our form registration still has not been accepted. Is there any way to get this done?
So that's been the challenge. I've submitted requests for that a couple times. I think that the webmaster for the site has been having some troubles with the actual site itself, and so he is. We are actively pursuing getting that corrected. I guess is the best way to phrase that right now. It's been a challenge. That's why we went ahead and created the community on Google+. I would say go ahead and use the Google+ community right now until we get that resolved. And it's one of the growing pains of a new competition. I think is just getting things stood up for the first time. I know I don't know if you're familiar with the RoboSub competition. They've had similar issues all of a sudden. It sounds like the software they've been using on the back end of the servers has been an issue that's causing.
Yeah, we don't actually know. We just know they're struggling.
Yeah, we don't have direct access to the servers, unfortunately. That's run by another company.
Which is why we set up the RobotX community in Google+, so you can use the community to post questions, and hopefully everyone in the community will see the question and be able to respond. So that's the backup until we get the forums issues worked out.
Yeah, I apologize for that, Chris. Unfortunately, that's all we've got at this point. We're working to fix that. So I don't think I see any of the.
Chris, in a follow-up, are you planning on placing a transparent cover over the LED panels in the light tower for weatherproofing? If so, can we get a material specification and thickness? I can answer that. We are trying to avoid putting a plastic cover over the light panel because I think you are worried about the same thing we're worried about, is how much that would disperse it or how much that would cause reflections from the sunlight. So we're actually approaching weatherproofing in a way that won't involve putting a cover over the panels to have that problem. And also, I guess I can put in now, we are looking at putting a shade on top of the buoy.
I think that might have been Chris's question last time as well.
Yeah, that was brought up in the last hangout, was the shade on top of the buoy. We are looking at putting a shade on top of the buoy to help with that. But we are also we're trying to not have to put a piece of plastic on top of or in front of the LED panels.
LED panel, right.
Yeah, it was the same concern. I guess, Chris, have you been using, I think you guys told us you had the panels already running. Have you been using it successfully or still having issues with it, with the camera seeing them? And he asked, are you planning to share your weatherproofing technique?
That's a good question. I think we could probably do that once we get it finalized. We haven't really.
We don't know if it'll work.
Yeah, we haven't tested it yet. We're finishing that. That's part of the testing that we're going to do in the next week or so, is really get that working, and then before we ship it out to use over there, to test out over there.
Yeah, it's not going to be a perfect weatherproofing technique because the perfect would be to put it in a sealed capsule involving plastic in front of it.
Right.
We're going for the best we can do without causing problems. Right, and we're going to have spares so that if one does go down, we're going to have some hot spares to switch out. We'd rather have more spares to switch out than impede the capability of the teams to see the buoys.
Right.
So Chris responded and said, yes, we are using them, hopefully successfully.
Any other?
Not a real talking to bunch tonight.
Hopefully that means everyone's making good progress.
Yeah. Worries me.
Now, have you seen? I don't know. We've been watching some of the videos.
That's true.
They're doing pretty well.
It's like the same old saying: if the vehicle's working, it's a boring day.
Yeah, it's one of the jokes we have with underwater robots is underwater robots or submarine races are not an exciting event. It'd be boring. Everything's working. Everything is something
Pretty boring.
to do.
Are all the teams that are here? Have they already got everyone's got their vehicles in the water and moving around on their own? Anyone have any issues getting their vehicle moving?
Let me throw something out there. Actually, we've had a question about I don't know if any of the I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember which teams are using the torpedo propulsion system. But have you looked at putting up any information? Have you had trouble getting the information from the companies on how to interface to them, how to work with them?
I'd start and ask them who is using torpedoes here.
Well, I remember seeing a few of them out there. I don't remember exactly which teams off the top of my head.
I'm pretty sure we've got some torpedoes, and from what I've heard, I'm not working on the interfacing stuff, but everyone seems to be being able to get access to that data. I'm not sure what troubles people have been having, but as far as I know, we've got it all sorted.
Okay. Is that something? And I want to be clear. I don't want to force anyone to do anything here, but is that something that you might be willing to share with some, on the board or some of the
posting to the community,
or something if you've got it?
I can find out from the director of our team. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll check with him and see what we can do. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
It's a fine line. I want to encourage teams talking to each other and sharing, but I also want to make sure you protect what your competitive integrity. So.
It's the cooperation aspect.
That's the cooperation aspect, exactly.
I also, I'm sure that some of the items we're using, the people who were working on them had to sign NDAs, so it may be one of the items that we had to sign an NDA for.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
I'm not sure. There are a couple of companies that were a bit picky about giving out information.
Oh man, now I'm excited. We're going to see some fancy hardware.
That'll be fun.
And I think it's just companies being really picky.
I can't remember whose site I was looking at the other day. Here we go.
You talked about having carts in Singapore. Any more details on this? The Torpedo communication standard is proprietary. The company would not share it with us.
Ah, so that's the problem that one of the other teams has been having. Okay.
So that's probably where they would share it with someone who signed an NDA. I suspect that is the particular item that we...
So even that is good information to throw on the website. And it looks like Chris may have gotten some insight there on how to approach it, letting people know that Torpedo is willing to release it if you sign a non-disclosure agreement.
Well, Chris said they would not share it, so I'm not sure if Chris had a problem getting it, and that's what he's saying. Chris, were you actually able to get it, or you're saying they wouldn't share it with you with all, no matter what?
So while he's typing, I'm guessing there's a question about the carts in Singapore. We are planning to have carts. We're not sure how many yet. I believe those are actually being designed right now, and WAMV may actually be providing a couple as well. We're trying to get those shipped out or get them on.
So we'll have to follow up with that.
Yeah, we'll have to follow up again on that one. That answer, we've asked that a couple times, and it's always in progress. But yeah. Oh, so even with an NDA, they said no, according to Chris. So that it's interesting. Okay, that's a good challenge to capture them. I'll have to see if we can.
Thank you. That's interesting. Well, thanks for letting us know. Oh, he said bless you. Thank you.
I'll check for sure that we did get the comm specs under a NDA or some similar thing, but I'm pretty sure we did, so maybe there was a different communication if someone talked to a different person or something.
Yeah, if you have a point of contact that helped you out more, maybe that'd be something good to post.
Yeah, it'd be a great thing to have up there.
Sure.
What we'll do is for the carts, I feel comfortable saying that we'll have carts available for people to use there. I don't think it is worth spending too much time building up a portable cart or planning to ship one over. I'll get you the answer as soon as I can get that from the host facility that we can, they'll have them. I think the big concern is that they're building a cart that's going to go. I don't know if you've looked at the overhead map too much, but essentially it'll be on a soccer pitch for the event, and they're worried about deck loading on the space, so that they're going to want carts they want carts that are not going to damage the surface underneath where we're going to be, to the point where we may actually have to put our own platform on top of the platform to be able to operate. So that's it's a very expensive platform, and we want to make sure we don't damage it. So they're being very careful about what they allow us to bring on. Hey, someone's got food over there.
Someone's eating? You bring enough for all of us?
Maybe. Ask her. I guess on a serious note, with the NDA with Torqeedo, we're currently going through the same process. And I don't know if it's just, the Australian distributors are a little nicer, but the way we've done it is we just asked the distributor when we were inquiring about the motors.
Okay.
Because obviously they have a proprietary communication protocol to the motors and a proprietary data bus. And as part of ordering them, we basically said, I'm happy to order them as long as you can get me this information. And they went away to Torqeedo, contacted someone, and Torqeedo agreed to supply us with that information, obviously under an NDA.
Right. Okay, so that's really good information. That might be.
Yeah, I wish we would have known about this earlier.
The approach. What I'll do is or Bill, I can get together. I'll go to Torqeedo and see what I can find as well. But at the same time, I've got to say that some of it is part of the challenges of dealing with companies when you're trying to interface new technologies. So this is something I know we deal with on a regular basis, trying to figure out how something really talks. I might be able to help, but if they're being very specific about it, there's a good chance it'll be on a case-by-case basis.
Yeah, it might be good to get a straight answer from them if they're going to let teams have it or not.
Yeah. And honestly, that's not the only propulsion system out there. I mean, we put
well, Christopher said he went with another system. So, Christopher, can you tell us what system you went with instead of Torqeedo's? Are you willing to share that? We gotta get Christopher a webcam. Ooh, he's going fancy. He's got a prototype rim-driven propeller system.
The webcams are on the boat.
Oh,
you sit on the boat and have the hangout.
Yeah, you got a live feed from your boat.
Actually, that's a good point. Let me ask this question: if we were to have on the technical director side, if we were to have a small camera like a GoPro or something we wanted to put on your boat to record data as it's driving around, do any of you see any problem if we asked to put it on one of your boats while it's driving the course? I got one positive response there.
No, I reckon that's a great idea.
Okay. I just think it'd be kind of fun to record a little bit about it, from the boat's eye view that we can use as part of our camera on site to show. So even better, they've already got GoPro.
Yeah, GoPro's not mounted.
Bonus.
Some of the teams, and I'm not sure if I'll get in trouble for saying this, but some of the teams in the RoboBoat and RoboSub recorded their own video of their crafts and then traded footage with the video people at the competition. Because usually, in order to get video footage from the video people, you pay a fee.
Mm-hmm.
But they were doing one-for-one swaps of, we'll trade you video footage if you have got footage coming from your craft, recorded by GoPros or something.
Oh, okay.
So they may do something similar in this competition.
That's probably going to be on a first come, first serve setup. Yeah.
Just on the note of video footage, I've seen a couple of teams using stuff like quadcopters and stuff to take aerial shots.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the regulations around Singapore are, but it'd be pretty cool if we could organise something like that as well.
The video group that it will be filming the competition does have a quadcopter.
Awesome.
And they've used it once already over there,
Yeah,
and we're working that into the plan to allow them to use it for the competition.
Yeah, they've already gotten some flyover footage of the field.
That'd be great.
They won't let me drive it though. I've asked.
I don't think I would let you try it either.
That was just one time.
If the regulations are anything like over here, if it's a commercial application, you have to have like a private pilot's license or something.
It's changing very quickly over here as well. Not sure where it's going. Not sure I'm
Yeah, with the traffic
going to be
case.
happy the direction it's going.
Well, now it's yeah. We can get a whole discussion on that. The U.S. can't figure out what it wants to do involving that. Singapore is a little bit better. I think the video group is flying it without having to get a license or anything. But don't quote me on that.
Sweet.
But we built that into the plan so that they'll have approval to run it for the competition itself.
Mm-hmm. We have 5 people watching, and the handful in the Hangouts. No one has any more questions? The people that are watching, you can ask questions via the Q&A plug-in on the video screen right there. You can type a question in, and we'll get it on the screen so we can address it.
So let me ask. I know that a couple of biggest questions we've had so far, and the ones that have been most consistent, are the carts has come up repeatedly, the last course components have come up repeatedly. Those are 2 things we're working pretty heavily on to get those locked in and published.
Paper and presentation requirements just came up.
Oh, that's one that we've been looking at. I had a fairly long talk with one of the main sponsors about a week and a half ago, and the big holdup on that is so as the technical director, I'm kind of coordinating and pulling the pieces together, getting it set up. The judging and the criteria come from the judge committee, and so I have made recommendations to that to what should be done for that. Their requirements are what I'm waiting on right now. Is kind of like finalizing that and identifying. Okay, here's what we want to judge against. Here's the rubric we're going to use for that. We had a discussion on that. I guess it was about almost 2 weeks ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And so hopefully we can get that refined in the next couple of weeks. I know I've said that a couple of times, but right now I think I'm just waiting to know who the final judges are and then get their final word on it.
It might be worth telling them that a lot of the lag time that we're having to deal with is just because we have to go through a lot of different approval processes, committees before we can post something to the teams. Because a lot of different people want to get their eyes on it.
Well, I mean, for the rules, that's partially true. I know we've reduced that, but the biggest thing right now is I just need some answers. We just need some answers from the judges on what are they going to be judging.
Right. So we are working this. That's what I'm trying to say is we're working hard against this. It's just that it's taking a little while.
The judges committee hasn't been finalized. Is what it
Yeah.
comes down to. Yeah, unfortunately. And we're trying.
Just
I think the big holdup there has been trying to get judges from each of the 5 nations. Participating and kind of confirmed and locked in, so it's just a matter of getting the 2 or 3 judges from each country to be confirmed and ready to go.
Yeah.
Just following on from the paper and presentation stuff, is there any more going to be more details on the website as well? Because I mean, we can just put a website up and whatever, and we've got one up already. But is there going to be, as my understanding, that's going to be judged as well, so to speak, or is it just you just want a regular progress update?
So that's so for now the website is more for Bill and me to kind of just see how things are going and kind of get to know you, all of you. I don't know what criteria the judges are going to want to have for the website. It's unfortunately it's the same answer. I intentionally stay agnostic on that to stay out of the judging criteria. That's kind of the model we've had from the other competitions. The technical director stays separate from that, and the judges are responsible for kind of selecting and finalizing that criteria.
Let me put one recommendation out there. I think I can say. I would recommend that you develop a website that you're comfortable putting on your resume to show future employees about the project and the robot. if you build a website to that level, I think you'll be fairly well off.
Yeah, that's a good point. One of the ones I was looking at that I gave made some comments on was I'm trying to remember which one it was now. It was there was a lot of good information. I could see the team members. I could see pictures of the team members and kind of get to know them.
Enough to show a future employee what the project was about, who was on the team, what were their goals.
And then also on top of that, it had stuff in the order of here's the list of sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Had a list of sponsors. I kind of wanted to see, okay, what did this sponsor do for you? How did it help? What did they give you? There were a lot of sponsor logos and names, but I wasn't sure what benefit came out of that. And that was as a curiosity thing as much as anything else. I was kind of curious to see what came out of it.
But if we tell you what all our sponsors do, then we're going to give away what we got.
That's correct. That's part. I don't want you to. That's that fine line we were talking about earlier. Is just enough to say, hey, they were really helpful on the control system or the navigation system. It's enough for me. And a lot of that you can figure out. I mean, if you look at some of the partners, if it's Torqeedo, you're pretty sure it's the propulsion system they helped you with. Other ones I'm not so sure about. There's a couple of them here that have the sensor name built into the company's name, so I'm pretty sure what you got from them. But it's I guess when I was doing it, what we did was part of the competition. Or part of our website we had put in was that we had almost a thank you note to the company, so they got the publicity for it as well as us kind of putting it out there, and that helped us a lot to get more sponsors. I'd love to see more about the prototype rim-driven system, but I'm not sure if he's willing to share that.
Maybe we'll see one at Roboboat this year. Hopefully. I got to see one last year at Roboboat. They're fancy looking.
I guess the trick with that is it'd be less likely to foul.
You're exactly. Which was actually a problem with Roboboat because they're in a lake, so they have a lot of IO fouling.
There you go. They had an AVSI.
Yeah, send us some info or I'll post it to the community.
And I'll put it out there. If you guys, if you have things that you want to have that you're willing to share, feel free to send it to Bill and myself, and we can post it if you don't want to post it directly. If there's information that you want to send out and that you're willing to have us post to the site, go ahead and let us know, and we'll get it on there. And obviously, that's within the the bounds of the fine line there. Just don't give away your secrets, but also give it if you're willing to help other teams with some things.
You want to have a good level of competition. It's no fun if the other teams are struggling.
Yeah, I've been watching Formula One. It's not quite as fun as it was last year. Mercedes seems to have that locked up.
Mm. Do we want to start talking about dates for the next hangout?
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. So we're looking at the next hangout dates. I was leaning towards giving it a little extra time this time, trying to do maybe the 19th of June as our next hangout session. Is that something that's going to be an issue with anyone, or
any holidays?
Any holidays.
19th or 20th for some of the other countries. Correct.
Right. Yeah, sorry. It'll be Friday, the morning of the 20th for a lot of the teams, which is a Friday.
Any issues with the 19th, 20th date range for anybody? That is during the SUAS competition. Oh. Here's a thought. Do we do a hangout from Singapore?
We can try. I don't know if we'll have the bandwidth.
That's true.
Where we're staying. That's something we can look into. So we'll have to look into that. I mean, we'll see if we might be able to conflict with the SUAS, but we'll have to look into that. I know I'm not available the week before. We'd have to slide it a week if we did that.
19th, 20th is SUAS. We'll have to look at some dates.
Yeah, we might slide it a week to the right and do it the week after instead.
26th. Let's ask it now. Is there anything wrong with the 26th, 27th?
And I guess the related question is that too long a gap between them?
Well, they have the community page. We'll still be able to answer on that.
Yeah, go ahead and post the communication for questions in the meantime. What I'd like to do is I'm hoping to get another version of the rules out either mid-June or sooner if we can get a couple of the answers we've been looking for. All right.
Sounds good to us for the second proposed date, 26th, 27th. So you want to?
Yeah, let's make a note of that one as well. We'll go from there.
26 should be fine for us as well.
Okay. And I mean, and the fact that we record this also makes it easier so teams can watch the video after the fact as well. And,
yeah.
And we still have the forms in direct email. So we'll try to adapt as many as we can and then go from there. So one of the things is that we've kind of said a few times is part of the challenge is in the challenge itself. I mean, I'm going to give you a lot of specifications as we go forward, but there are a lot of things we're not going to do, and that's there's a lot of intention behind that to kind of encourage some innovation, encourage some creativity, and actually make it a real challenge. So it's one of the key things. The craft should be adaptive and reacting and perceiving the environment and responding accordingly.
All right, last chance for some questions.
I get to go home early.
Yeah, this might be a short one.
We'll just see if we can get her to bring some food for everyone next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Call it a night there.
I think that's
Third day for some people.
Yeah. For the start of the day for some.
Yeah, I see the background there. Nice and daylight out.
Yeah, it's starting to get dark down here. We were hoping to do one outside where we could have the light tower out there, but it's just too dark. All right. We can call it.
I'm going to call it. All right, guys. Thanks for coming in and asking your good questions. Again, use the community if in the meantime while we don't have any hangouts for the next few weeks. And as always, you can email Amir as well. But we prefer the community. That way everyone can see the question.
I think what I'll start doing is
Cool,
also
thanks.
posting some of the questions to the community as well.
I'll see you later, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thanks.